Hello, people. What did you say? Welcome to paradise.
Welcome to paradise.
How are you?
All right, mate. Yep. If you've been any involvement in Yorkshire, you always end up coming back here.
Well, at Harper, I just remember that mantra, that Driffield, the centre of the universe.
Well, Driffield, yeah, we've got loads of folks there from Drift and stuff working with us, and well, as a matter of fact, actually, we've got an ex-Harper young lady working for us, Polly. She was there about 10 years ago, and she's massively into Driffield Rugby Club, and she was massively into Harper Adams as well. So the two go together. But I went to Shuttleworth in Bedfordshire, and I wanted to go somewhere where I didn't know anyone. And when I was at school, because I went to school around here, half the school went to Harper, so I thought, all right. I did go. I mean, I had a place and stuff.
Okay.
So I'll go somewhere different.
I like the way you shine when you talk about your agricultural academic background. You obviously enjoyed it.
Oh, Shuttleworth, yeah, I did. Yeah, no, it was great fun. Yeah, no, it was good fun.
As my lecturer at Harper, so I've still got this rolling. Students dialed in, don't listen to this, but going to university is 90% learning about life and 10% work. And you've got your mates from Shuttleworth, I'm guessing, and I still mates to this day, and your godparents both ways and all the rest.
Oh yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, we've got all that stuff. Yeah, and also as well, life moves on really, really quickly in terms of what you learn. You know what I mean? I've become a one-trick pony. I'm kind of like spuds only. And over the last 4 or 5 years, thank heavens for YouTube, because I've learned enough. I've had to rebuild my knowledge on other crops and relevance of other crops and all that kind of stuff.
So what you're saying, you've got a secret hankering for a dairy farmer?
No, as a matter of fact, that's the one thing I haven't got a secret hankering for.
So are you?
Very well shown in Sarah.
Yeah, amazing. This is.
There's a little camera there that's rolling.
Oh yeah.
I love the fact that he did it.
He's very, very shy.
I am camera shy. I have an image of myself that doesn't correspond with reality. That's the.
So are we going to tell Mr. Cockerill that that's a 360 camera?
Yes.
So it's recording everything round you, up, down, upside down.
Yeah.
I remember.
You are joking, aren't you?
No, it's running.
No, right, go on.
I remember coming to your site. Oh, it must have been 20 years ago when your little Sam was a
big boy now.
Was a wee nipper.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember the site. What a gorgeous drive-in.
What? Where have you come from?
Where have I come from?
We stayed at KP Club last night.
Oh really? Yes. Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Well, you came in the back way. It was lovely.
Yeah. But I was laughing because I got stuck behind a combine. I think I'm going to be late for a UK potato farming tour because I was stuck behind a blinking combine.
Yeah. It's all it's all kicking off now, isn't it? But, I mean, this bizarre, isn't it? I mean, it's quite nice until you start thinking about it.
Yeah, but gents, isn't that the beauty of farming? I keep on picking on accountants. Neither of you two would want to be behind a desk, would you?
I spend a lot of time.
Well,
I do as well, actually, to be quite frank.
I spend more time now sitting in isolation behind the desk because things happen so slowly in my life now. I can spend all day sending one email.
Before it has to be checked.
Yes. Yeah, that's the.
But you've got that passion. You are. I know you just picked yourself up as Mr. Potato.
It is a bit of an affliction because you do feel. God, I hope we aren't being recorded now.
Carry on. You're fantastic.
No, not at all. It is. It's when you sit back and think what we do. You wouldn't. There's no sanity.
And what I love is that I was at Greens to Sown 2 days ago, and Will Shakeshaft and his 2 other colleagues, none of them have got an agricultural background. You don't have an agricultural background, and it just emphasises that there's so many opportunities for those who've got that curiosity about the sector.
Yeah, and actually, and what's key, what I like, and I think everybody else who works here likes about this business. We're extremely family orientated.
Yeah, totally.
And very diverse in terms of age and stuff like that as well. And massively diverse in terms of background. and it's more kind of like people fit and like work ethic and all that kind of thing that's more important to us. You want a bit of technical knowledge and all that kind of stuff, but that's more.
But that's why I'm with our little bit here, gents. Is why I'm trying to get this message out that I do think that we don't promote ourselves. Whether we don't promote potatoes.
It's kind of true.
And
it's
we
kind
don't
of true. But you promote yourself by what you do, don't you? Reputation. Come on, hang on.
No, agree, but I'd fire back by saying there's that stat from the NFU that 6 out of 10 kids don't know where fresh produce comes from. So if we could educate them about, it is jingoistic, but if we could educate them about that, but also the opportunities to come and do what you guys have done, come into your business.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Are you optimistic about the future?
In my personal case?
Yeah.
No, not really. I'm of a certain age when you can't be optimistic.
Sometimes it's really difficult with the people you know.
Okay, no, I'll tell you what.
How can you answer a question like where do you expect
the sector?
Where do you expect to be in 5 years' time? Do you want to ask me that question?
I want you to be a Formula 1 driver. I want you to be winning Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Scoring the winning try at Twickenham.
I think those.
He wants to be an astronaut. He's training to be an astronaut.
Yeah. No, it's yeah. I don't know what you can't. I'm still concerned about this thing recording. There you go.
Well, I'm just going to say people.
But I'm sure you let it in.
People love this man, and we need.
Well, I don't know, not universally. Max. You're slightly overstating.
Is there something about people from Yorkshire that you present them a compliment and
oh, no, it's too much.
No, it's all right. I mean, I'm very happy with where we are, and I think we're in a good place. And they seem to be doing better without me than when I was working here. So. But isn't that can't be good? That can't be bad, can it?
But isn't that a lesson in life? If you've got a business, if you could make yourself unemployable, make yourself redundant by finding people like this great man and his customers.
Yeah, of course it is. And I think there's always a buzz. And I mean, I've been at the Yorkshire Show meeting people, and there's always a buzz when people tell you how well they get on with people like Rufus and Wayne in particular. I have to say Rufus and George. The Georges, both Georges. The farmer contact.
All the people that have customer facing.
That is a bit special.
Yeah, that must make you.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
And you could have got a proper job as an accountant.
I could have done if I'd been trained as an accountant. I have a very blasé. 1976 was the year that I remember the best. I mean, my father died in '74, and we made it. It's given me a very nonchalant, let's just do it. And it's not a particularly sensible way to.
But it's a long-term way.
It's kind of worked. Okay. Yeah, kind of worked.
And do you know why I'm here today?
I think you're on a mission. You're driving around, talking to people.
I'm here to make you look good.
Yes. Yeah, no, that's best of luck with that one.
Thank you. So with CUPGRA, a great organisation. I just want to help them with their marketing and get their message out. And they said,
are you doing this link to CUPGRA?
Yeah.
So, fortunately, we've renewed our membership, which is always good.
I could stay.
I'm actually. I know Debbie Winstanley, who you will know, and because she's got an affinity with as we have. And in fact, we're going over to stay with Debbie next month, I think. So we see her, but she was at that potato demo. Yeah, so she's one of those things that will, you think she's going to go away, but she keeps popping up.
A bit like me.
Yeah.
Right then, Jen, so what are you going to show me? I sort of said to you...
I was only here to say hello.
I know.
I will,
no, you're done.
That's it, yeah. That basically what I do, meeting and greeting is quite often.
Yeah, but I want to get your picture. Well,
I thought you had it already on there.
No. I've got a proper bit. Have you got one of your Cockerill... Oh, sorry.
No, what I thought we were going to do.
Okay.
We'll have a good look. With loads of people to meet. We'll have a good look through the pack house. Warned everybody who come in.
Yep.
And then we'll go down to Barmby, our other site. It's only about 10 miles. We can just jump in the car. It's only 10 miles.
Okay.
That supply has survived. Still on?
Yeah. Right. This is the nerve sensor.
Hi, gents.
Hello. This is a gentleman called Max. So
Max. Hello, nice to meet you. How's that?
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Nick.
How's that?
So Danny, production manager, operations, technical. Just
Gents, where are we at the moment in the grand scheme of processed seasons with potatoes? Have you got new crop coming in? Have you got
Yeah, we started
salad
new
potatoes
crop.
in?
Yeah, salads. Maris Piper's just started.
yeah, 2 or 3 days ago.
You looking very cool. Like it's just
3
started.
weeks of holiday.
All right, okay. You haven't checked your emails. That's all fine. You've got these guys.
Yeah.
Well, we've also actually as well, which one person who possibly is not as cool as everyone else is Nick. Nick, we've just implemented a new ERP system which started on the 29th of June.
I like the way Nick swiveled his head.
Yeah, well, and so which we kind of like created 3 champions to take it forward. So there was Nick, Steve, our IT manager, and a lady called Nicola, one of our accountants, take it forward. So Nick has been one of the champions. So Nick has had 6 months of full bore depth buried.
Last year, didn't we?
Yeah, year of. And also trying to medal and also trying to balance BRC commitments as
Wow.
well. We are in our BRC window as well. So,
Okay. And ERP working? Happy with it?
well, one question is easy to answer. Yeah.
Surrounded by paper, but yeah, okay. Excellent.
So should we just walk you through the process?
Yes, please.
Which we're going to be guided by Top Banana here.
Looking forward to this.
So Part has been here. We've been here about 16, 17 years.
16 years coming.
Okay.
17 years, sorry.
Came in stacking bags, and he's now.
Wow. Okay.
I started literally on that long line.
So you think you're going to stay? You happy?
I'll show you
I don't think so. I don't think so. I will go anywhere.
Yeah.
Come on, then, show us.
No.
And show us what you do. Show us what you're proud of.
I'm proud this company exists.
Fantastic.
That's what it is.
Okay, well let's get rid of Rufus and you show us. Bye, Rufus. Thank you. No.
No.
We don't need Rufus. Thank you. No, go. No, thank you.
Like you see it in here, most likely, the longest line down there is called the Agri line. That line is weighing potatoes, not by the size, by the weight grade. So we do it McCain on it, ballpark and some little stuff as well. Like loose bacon is coming out from the Aldi. Then the 3 line and the 4th line down there is just purely for Aldi, the DAC line goal. We're packing different skills, so we're packing from 500 gram up to 2.5 kilo. We could do it 4 kilo, 5 kilo, but it's not a requirement for us. So,
And with you being here 16, 17 years, this building here
this
must have
place
changed so much.
massively changed. When I first started, that building here, so like you see it all in kilos down there, that building doesn't exist. That building didn't exist whatsoever. So we literally was in that little building down there with 2 bays down there, now we have 3 bays in here.
And when we're still here in 5 years, 10 years time, do you think this will expand again?
Yes, we are already expanding on the other side of the wall. The other side of the wall was the oldest one, we are now in the washroom. So we reverted all this washroom into straight line. Then before we had like L-shape and stuff like that. So it's better, it's bigger, it's more stuff down there.
So because there's always this usually with a building like this, there's straight lines, but to start off with a massive building and only use a little of it is not economically, it doesn't make sense. Do you think at some point you might have to flatten this building and start again, or can you keep adding to it like you have been?
In ideally world, that will be the best way to do it, is get new side all over. But so depending what we want to do in the future, you know. And my goal is progressively the company, so get more and more more customer or more just job with the Agri, solo supply for Agri or something like that, you know. That is my goal.
Just hold on. Is that out of the UK or out of Germany? With the central sort of similar. Rufus, where do these potatoes come from?
So these are some Maris Piper. We've just moved on to new season on Maris Piper. We've been on new season baby and salad for about 2 or 3 weeks. But our earliest supplies come from Norfolk and Suffolk, well, all Suffolk. So this stuff's all being cooked in a fair way at the moment. And that started probably a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And by about mid-August, we'll gradually start coming up to Yorkshire.
Okay, got it.
We'll be doing local stuff. So the vast majority of our supply is sort of 40-50% from Yorkshire, mainly main crop white potato varieties. We buy a lot from Scotland as well. And then some varieties, I mean Maris Piper is our biggest selling variety. But a lot, Piper doesn't really grow very well around here. Mainly grows well in East Anglia, so a lot comes from East Anglia, a bit comes from Scotland. So that's where so we're fairly geographically spread. We'll do a little bit out of Cornwall as well. We are doing a bit out of Cornwall.
Okay, and the site is going 52 weeks a year. So whether it's new crop or it's old crop that you're bringing in, you're getting 52 weeks a year because your customer requires that.
Yep. And well, and you build a pack house for 1 week of the year, don't you? And Bart will tell you, Christmas week is crazy.
Of course, yeah.
Christmas week, so say for example, in Christmas week daily, you will have like 30 trailers going out.
Good grief.
Wow. Just for 4 days. Wow. That's 4 days. It's just mental in here. Just running all the time, non-stop, no break. Actually, break for the people, but the back of is running all the time.
Okay. And consumption-wise, Rufus, there's I don't know if you picked it up about 2 months ago. There's talk about 2 bread companies in the UK coming together because we're not eating as much bread. Potatoes. Where are we able to come to potatoes?
Well, you're going to mention an article that was in a gross about we're not eating as much fresh produce either as well. And so potato sales are a little bit, on fresh potato sales are a little bit stagnant at the moment, which is a constant challenge. And you know, I think we're obviously becoming more conscious as a nation about what we eat and how we eat and consumer trends. Anybody under maybe about 30, whether or not they're doing as much with this fresh cooking as before. So why we concentrate heavily on making sure what we do sell is really, really good quality. Quality will always sell. So that's a really, really big
incorporate that in, quality and taste, well, it's the same thing really. I've always remember a great greenhouse grower saying that if you get a kid, a young person that eats a tomato, don't just eat tomatoes, and it's exactly the same with potatoes, isn't it? If someone's really enjoying a potato, whatever form, they're always going to come back to it, aren't they?
Well, we're doing a lot of work. We're actually just about to undertake a project on some seed development. We've taken on a seed business about a year or two ago up at Mothall, where we're doing all our own seed production for all of our own growers, our processing and our fresh growers. We run a full trials program. We've got 16 different projects running on our trial site this year, and varietal development is absolutely key. So, just getting a big beautiful low dry matter potato with no taste and flavour isn't the answer. You want to have something that's got a bit of taste and flavour, something that's a little bit different, and that's what we're trying to do over the next few years.
To have that secondary layer is very simple but very clever. All that space. Thank you. Of these machines of Newtech, are they both British? I can't.
No, Newtech are Danish. GLC are Gainsborough, Lincolnshire.
Okay.
The Oculus is what used to be Herbert.
Yeah. So that automation efficient. It's not taking jobs away. It's making everything more efficient, so that the guys can do jobs that are high value jobs rather than I'm just taking a picture of you, because if it wasn't for you and your team, we wouldn't have amazing products such as this. What's your background? How did you get into the mad world of potatoes? What's your background?
Right. I've been born in the village, so my uncle had the farm. So he was growing potatoes and all the stuff. We had animals. I was helping him. Then in my school I went into cell and then started to do it. I don't have any background, like that. I just had to sell.
But I can see by the way that the team and Rufus as you talk to you and converse with you, they hold the highest respect in you. Do you enjoy this role? Would you recommend people to come into this sector?
Oh, I'm in here 17 years, going into 18 years next year in March. Yeah. And every day in here is a lesson. Yeah. And you could learn quite a lot, especially when you work with all people, everybody is different. We have a lot of Eastern European, like here. We have Romanian in here, we have Czech Republic, Latin, Lithuanian people, English people, and everybody is different, and you learn from every single one person.
I can tell by your eyes that you enjoy that.
Yeah, I do enjoy it because every person is different. Yeah. It's not just, packing the potatoes, it's how you communicate with people, and how the people see you. And I've never been the person who wants, turn the back and don't do anything to them. I always will be there and trying to help them as much as possible, in work, and if they have a problem with personal life, I'm trying to help them as well. That's why, everybody in here trying to work in the best that they can.
Okay, to wrap up, I've got a very serious question to ask you. What is your favourite fresh produce?
Favourite fresh produce?
Favourite, look.
Potato.
Sorry, cut across you. Where are we going next?
Right, okay, so next we're going to go to Greenland's Farm, which is a grading and washing station and storage site that we've got about 10 miles away from our main site here at Providence Farm. It's purchased probably about 20-25 years ago. The reason for doing so was that nearly all of our crisping customers want their potatoes to arrive washed. So we've got a high capacity washer here, which I'll show you in a few minutes time, and there's an optical sorter there, and we've got around about 15,000 tonnes of crisping storage there. We do store potatoes, actually fresh potatoes, at 2 or 3 degrees centigrade that we need to do for fresh, but we tend to do that in rented stores or off-site stores we've got elsewhere, and growers stores of course.
Yep.
But the crisping potatoes need to be kept at about 8 to 9 degrees. We're going to meet Dean, who is our is our storage guru who runs that site, runs the washing site, and he knows all about how to store crisping potatoes, so that when you're getting a fresh potato off the field, bright white crisp, in September, October, it's beautiful and clean and white and what have you, and it goes into, and you open that bag of Walkers or Seabrook crisps and they look great in September, October. It still has to have that same colour and that same taste and that same texture in June, July, and that there's a lot of science involved in managing glucose and sucrose levels and the conversion from starch into glucose and sucrose. So it isn't just put it in the door, put it in the store, shut the door and forget about it.
Yeah.
It's an art form, of which Dean is the expert.
Dean and his team are the magicians.
Dean and his team that's where the magic happens.
So just to reiterate it more for me, that it's such a bearable product, isn't it? Potatoes, in the respect of when it's been harvested, the storage of it, all of those operational supply chain elements of it. So he and his team are looking at it as on a batch by batch basis, on a potato by potato basis, to make sure that the end result is going to be what the end customer wants.
Exactly, and that's actually where we so you've seen Elaine in the QC department there, and the team that she's got. So we're QCing every load onto site, and before it comes into our system, we've got 3 guys, Wayne and 2 Georges, who work in our buying team. They will have gone to the farms. This is on fresh potatoes. Quality, taken samples. Is it the right material to come in? And then it will have followed through the process. But on the crisping side, we have our crisping contracts with some of the big crisping businesses in the UK, and because I've talked about this science of making sure that the sugar levels are exactly right, the dry matter is exactly right. That laboratory that I showed you at Providence there in the porter cabin, we take samples every 2 weeks. So we're starting to take samples now of the growing crop to decide when is it optimum time for harvest, when the dry matter is right, and then when the potatoes go into store, again, we will carry on taking 2 weekly samples to measure glucose and sucrose levels, put them through a YSI machine. That will tell us if the glucose and sucrose levels are starting to change, and if those potatoes need to be moved out of the program that they're programmed into. And there's the other thing to remember about fresh and crisping potatoes is they are potatoes, Solanum tuberosum, but that's where it stops. So the fresh potatoes tend to have a lower dry matter. So what you've just seen going through the pack house at Providence will be general purpose white potatoes, 18 to 22, 23% dry matter, and they'll have the taste and flavour that we talked about, and that's what we're trying to drive out. You don't want some boring low dry matter, just fleshy potato with no taste to it. That's what we're aiming for with those varieties, and there's probably a hardcore of about 15-20 varieties that we use on a weekly basis. Crisping potatoes are a totally different thing altogether. They tend to be on average probably 2 or 3% higher dry matter. We're soaking up you want something that will soak up the oil, give them that crispiness, but you also don't want a variety that is sometimes when you're bitten into some of those, especially some of the thicker, more artisan-y type brands, and they're quite thick, and you're almost taking the roof off. You don't want that. You want something that it's crunchy. It doesn't give you your mouth bleeding internally.
Rufus, just to positively pull you up, you've just given a masterclass there in 2 different industries. But you segued it, you morphed it into one. To me, the one word that comes to mind is complex. That how complex your business is, and that you've got your conventional potatoes, and then you've got your crispy potatoes. But all of you and your team have got to be absolutely on the ball for both. Hence my expression of hideously complex. But we'll see with Dean in a minute. With Bart, you seem to be very, very much on the case, but I'm guessing that's because of the longevity and the experience that you've all got. But all credit to you.
Well, yeah, but also as well, people are specialists. How we've done it, and is we share an office, we share a site, we share an employer, a name that we all work for, but we divide it into 2 teams. So all the admin and all the office management takes place back at Providence there, but there's a half a dozen guys in that office there dedicated to the crisping business. So we've got Tom doing the facilitation into some of the factories. That business is headed up by John Bones. who speaks to all the customers. Then we've got Mike Dangerfield, who's been with the business a very, very long time. Mike looks after the relationship with the growers. We've got a young lady called Polly Megginson. Polly looks after works alongside Mike, and there's a young lady as well, Paulina, and they manage the relationship with the crisping growers and the crisping customers. Literally on the desk next door is a fresh team.
Yeah.
So there's I've talked about Wayne and the two Georges that do the liaison with the fresh growers, and then on the same desk there's Joanne Forster, who's again been with the business a long time. So Joanne and myself look after the relationship we have with Aldi and our fresh customers. So there's hardly any crossover in workload or in product. It's a potato, but it's not the same potato. So to outside looking in, it is complicated, but we've got great people who've got this huge depth of knowledge. It's all about the people, and you can have MBAs coming out of your ears, but hey, it's about the people and the work ethic and what they do and their commitment. That's the one thing we've got a great commitment, and we've got an incredibly low staff turnover as well.
Yeah. Well done. Well done.
Greenlands Farm. Commercial vehicle workshops here. Trailer storage behind there.
Just sorry to interrupt you. Just how many tractor units have you got, and how many trailers? That was amazing. How many tractor units?
We've got 14 tractor units, and then we've got a couple of kind of like local owner drivers that we keep employed as well. So any one time we've probably got about 15 or 16 people working for us. But then trailers wise, we've got some 80 or 90, because the way that the potato industry works, and you only need to look around here where there's quite a few empty trailers sat around. We're waiting to fill some, and it just cuts down. And we've got bulkers sat on farms and things. We've got box vans sat on farms, and at any one time there'll be box vans going out to supermarkets and things like that, and then we'll be refilling trailers. So we've got about 80 or 90. And then we look after everything ourselves in terms of vehicles and stuff. So there's a commercial vehicle workshop in here, and there's three lads working in there, keeping all the trailers behind there, and the bulkers over there. One of the lads lives here.
And Rufus, presumably you crunch the numbers to see whether you could outsource it, because lots of companies didn't have in the past, and they're like, won't name them, but to big logistics companies, and I'm answering my own question. Most of them brought it back in house.
Right, 100%. And we've done, and we do that, and we've done that, and we do it every few years. We crunch the numbers, and it's a service that we operate to our customers. Okay, because what it does allow us to do, running our own trucks, it doesn't make anything in haulage. It doesn't make a fortune whatsoever. But the service to our customers is we've always got trucks back here. We can keep an eye on them. They're all tracked. We can tell people where they are. We can tell what time we're going to get there, ETAs, all that kind of stuff. And for example, if we're doing supermarket deliveries, we're back in the morning, back to take another trailer out. We're not at the behest of some consolidator. I'm not saying we don't. We do use consolidators, and the ones that we do use do a decent job when we need them. But it is purely about being totally kind of like vertically integrated in our supply chain, which again is the reason that we brought into the seed business last year. Our fresh business and our processing business had grown massively in the last 4 or 5 years, especially grown sort of 25, 30, 40%. And we've always had a bit of a relationship with seed and supplying seed to our growers, especially our processing growers. And again, as the business has expanded, that probably hasn't, the seed side hasn't kept up as fast. But again, it was about control of what varieties we needed to use, what volumes that we needed as well. So investing in this business up at Mothorpe has brought some of that control back in. So we're at a comfortable level now.
It's like you're future-proofing the business. It's like the Henry Ford as a Ford Cars philosophy. Own the ore mine, the rubber plantation, the manufacturing part, even the salesman. And in effect, that's what you're doing. You're future-proofing yourself with the seed, with the logistics, with the conventional potatoes, and with the crisping. And so that makes you attractive to customers, dependable.
It's dependable, yeah, and that's what we pride ourselves on. And also being able to operate our own. I mean, we are 24/7, and we talked a little bit earlier about commitment on people. Everybody's contactable, and we operate rotas, by the way, so everybody's 24/7 contactable. We operate rotas about people and availability. and so we're so we that's how we kind of work it as well. One thing haven't actually had is we grow quite a lot as well. We grow about 1,700 acres of potatoes ourselves. Some of it under the Cockerill farming business, and then about probably about 1,000 acres up at Mowthorpe. Anyway, here's Dean strutting across his fiefdom.
Anyone would think it's summer.
Yeah.
Hi
Dean, this
Dean,
is,
I'm
uh,
Max.
How you doing? All right.
Very well.
Good.
Been
Good to
hearing
meet
been hearing great things about you from this fantastic
I'd
man.
expect nothing less. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, modest as ever.
So what? Are you okay? Filming?
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
Have you come across one of these cameras? It's a 360 camera, so it's filming all round, and it's trying to make Rufus look handsome. So I don't know how we're going to. Do you think that's possible?
No comment.
Tell us what you do here. We've had a bit of an intro in the car, but go on, show off. Don't be modest.
Martin Cockerill bought the site in the early 2000s. Okay. His main focus, 2000 till 2010, was to wash potatoes. That's still like the primary function of the site. But also the buildings that you can see across there, they're all potato storage buildings. Okay. So we've gone from the main purpose of the site is washing, but now we store a lot as well. We also have the workshop over there. All the fleet of trailers go through the workshop.
Yeah, and I heard you got 80, 90. You've got a lot of kit on that side alone.
And then the icing on the cake is the farmhouse, so it's actually a holiday there.
No.
So originally, originally it was a farm. That's Greenland's farm. That was the farmhouse, and this was a yard.
Right.
Farm
Okay.
Yard.
So you're doing B&B lorries, washing potatoes, and you don't do?
Just keep it coming. But no, there's a pool, there's a hot tub. So yeah, that's the icing on the cake anyway. But a bit of the hobby if you want. But yeah, storage, transport workshop, and
can you show us something?
Yeah, of course I can. Yeah, we'll go inside if you want. So everything that you've seen at our pack house, packs for the supermarkets, it's polished, it's prepped. So this is more a pre-wash. We're looking at removing soil, removing stones, removing any foreign objects. You can imagine anything coming out of the field. Golf balls, tin cans, tennis balls, dog toys. Our job is to make sure that is removed.
But is that getting slightly easier with the likes of the equipment like Grimmy, who's obviously a great manufacturer? Is that getting the quality coming in getting better?
Yeah, definitely. We use tongue, we use summers, and we use hay, similar to up in Providence. We use hay, and we've got an optical sorter vision system from a company called Tomra. So that is, we got that in 2018, and that does the work of 6 people. So that is, before we used to have people looking for all these foreign objects, dog toys, tennis balls, but now the vision system does it all for us. So we've gone from 6 down to 2. The vision system's good, not 100%, not far off. So we have Ronald and Eva up on the line, and then just a final inspection.
And volume, what sort of volume will you be handling coming through
We
here?
do about 1,000 tonne a week through this site.
Wow.
Just for washing. So it's slightly different to the pack house, so everything we do is in bulk. So there's no bagging, no palletising. It comes in a bulk or in a box, and then it goes out in one of these trailers. So
And team-wise, with everything that you've got on site here, how many people have you got?
we've got 6 full-time, and then we use agency just to cover busy periods. Yeah, 6 really, and then agency cover. That can be between 2 and 10, depending on what we're doing. But yeah, core team of 6.
Very impressive.
We can have a look at this move. Major damage, heavy greens, field greens where the lights in.
So that technology, I remember when that technology first started coming along, and it was with avocados to try and assess if an avocado was damaged, but it was too slow. And now you've got this sort of volume coming through, and it can do that.
Yeah, this isn't even at full speed. Yeah, the capacity, we can run 50 tonne an hour. And we're about 30 tonne an hour now.
And here we are in the middle of July, soil and labour on the go here now anyway. It's very mechanised. But have you sort of reached that plateau of what this kit can do, or is there more that can be done?
I'd say there's always more. I started with Cockerill's in 2012, and my predecessor Rich has been around for, well, I don't know, he worked for Cockerill's for 40 years. Now, not much has changed. You can always improve. The big thing for us was this sort of technology. Depends what becomes more affordable as well, because that's the sticking point. The technology might be there to transform any part of this system, but it's just whether it costs.
Oh, did that be £5 million, basically?
Exactly.
Okay.
With the vision system, I know they looked at that in 2012, that time. At that point, I don't think the technology was quite there, but it certainly wasn't affordable. And then 2018 came, and it was then affordable. Everything, I'd say it's getting bigger, but I think it's getting better. It's certainly getting more reliable. So, I don't know, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, we might be doing, there will be some changes, but I'm not quite sure what.
I'm just thinking aloud. See the great guys on the forklifts and the tractor units. You just wonder whether, perhaps not in our generation, but our kids' generation, but if that gets mechanised and now moving around like driverless taxis, you have driverless forklifts.
Exactly. If we're doing something similar to this in, say, 50 years' time, or even 20 years' time, you may find that the potato stallers on the other side of the yard, there may be tracks coming through. There could be a number of things we look at, or whoever's near that.
But I get the impression Cockerill's is really up for that. As long as there's a return of investment on that technology, that you'll happily look at it.
I think a lot of focus, certainly for our business at the moment, is energy and energy use. Right. So that's where, in terms of investment, so the potato stalls that we've got on site, this time next year we'll put them in solar panels. Really? So we're going to start that in about 2 months' time. All the groundwork's being done. Okay. So that's certainly the focus.
And it's so logical, isn't it? Rather than putting solar panels down on grade 1, grade 2 land, stick them on the roof of an industrial building.
We've got quite a low apex on the roof as well, and we get sunrise in the east, sets in the west, so you get it all day long. In summer, when the sun's out and it's warm, the fridges are on, trying to keep the potatoes in store at that set temperature, like on here, like between 6 and 8 degrees. So when we need the fridges, the sun's out. So it makes perfect sense.
And Steve, what about yourself? What's your background? How did you end up in the mad world of potatoes?
Yeah, well, I was new to the industry in 2012. Before that, I was a shift manager for a wholesale catering supplier in Hull. Lived just down the road at Elvington. But yeah, started here in 2012, and then got more involved in crop storage. So I look after this site, but also my main focus is crop storage, which is a whole different beast. But yeah, just stuck with Cockerill's really, and then over the years it kind of developed me. The site's developed, and everything just fell into place really. I got me in the right place at the right time.
And do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I do enjoy it. Yeah. It's different from January to January. It's different. Every month there's something different. That's really different potatoes, different quality, different storage terms, different factories. Ego, who I work with, Ego's been there nearly 20 years. Agri, again, started in 2002, so everybody seems to stick it out.
I do think the Cockerill's is a positively very unusual business, because you are a team, and I sometimes don't like the word family in a business, but you do seem very close knit. You do seem to look like you're looking after each other.
Yeah, it is. It's good. And you still see, like Martin Cockerill, the owner of the business, the chairman, he's around all the time. You still see him. He's not actively involved in what we do on a day-to-day basis, but he'll come over. Normally at about 4 o'clock on a Friday when you want to get out.
Martin.
Get out. But no, so that's, Martin, his wife Pam, the family you do see. Particular Martin is still around. Rufus, John and the other guys, you see him quite a lot.
It's fascinating, isn't it, about business? For a business Dean, thank you very much for that. As I just said off camera with Rufus, this is such an impressive business. It's all I said it's all about the people, and you very modestly says, well, it's all about the timing. But I think it's a combination, isn't it? People and timing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you got to have the right people in the right place at the right time.
Okay.
And I'm quite lucky. We've got a great team, you know, and yeah, we're busy. We do it, you know, we get the job done.
Okay.
We've got the kit to do it as well.
Yeah.
And the room, we've got the space to do it as well.
It seems to be a business, a family that's very keen to future-proof itself for the future, with the likes of yourself, and also the investment that you're keen to see to make your job easier, because they're going to produce better potatoes. Right, here comes the big question. What's your favourite fresh produce?
Potatoes.
I nearly caught you out. Nearly. Right, Rufus, are you ready for your...
Go for it.
your
Whoa, Jesus, hold on a minute before bloody Chris hits me. Yep.
I love these lorries. Ding, ding, ding. So CUPGRA. So one of the reasons I wanted to do this UK potato and filming tour was I think CUPGRA are a brilliant organisation. They are very R&D focused, and having covered the conference for the last, had the privilege to cover the conference for the last 2-3 years, I think there's more that could be done in the way of potentially membership and also just promotion of the sector. And I know it's not really their thing, but so they were happy for me to come along and do this, but they were really keen to get a bit of a leaning from the likes of yourself, so that they can learn. So we're going to be their critical friend. Okay. So what benefits does Cockerill get from being a member of CUPGRA, do you think?
As we said, we're a very diverse business, and we operate, you know, across the supply chain. We're growers, we're packers, we're involved in supporting seed grow and seed production and things like that. And so there's a big element of technology and the agronomic support that we go looking for as well, which is hugely beneficial to us. But because of our diversity, there are elements. I'm not particularly technically or agronomically focused at all. I'm more supply chain focused. I'm usually really interested in some of the different speakers that CUPGRA have had in over the last 10 years on supply chain and things. Maybe there's a direction of travel on some of the innovation that can take place there. We've got hugely changing consumer habits. I think we spoke a little bit earlier in the pack house about a drop in fresh produce consumption, especially among a younger generation. How do we beef things up a little bit to get them more on side?
Yeah, well done. And the second question was, what would you like CUPGRA to do more of to benefit you? So the likes of the conference, you were a notable speaker a couple of years ago, weren't you? Would you like to see slightly more diverse speakers, like we were just talking in the pack house about? We could learn from other sectors, like the automobile sector. Do you think that would be? I'm sort of putting words in your mouth, but do you think it would be advantageous to get other speakers in that would challenge us from a different perspective?
Absolutely, and we are a little bit myopic and a little bit single focused. Yep. We've spoken to other produce businesses up in Yorkshire. There's a real diversity. We've got quite a few carrot growers on here. We have good relationships with them, and it's great to speak to other fresh produce businesses. But at the end of the day, you've all got an original. You're all managing a crop that's grown. We're at the mercy of the climate and the mercy of the weather. So you've probably got shared problems. So you're probably repeating very much of the same. But you're right. I've done a little bit of outside learning myself over the years, and I've really enjoyed going on courses and things. And I remember once being on a course working with people who work for Jaguar Land Rover, and you learn all about just-in-time delivery and all that kind of stuff, and lean manufacture, all that kind of stuff. I think there's a huge amount that we can learn from other businesses.
Yeah, well said. It's a bit like those courses where I've had the occasional luck to be on them. It's sort of 50% what you learn in the lecture theatre, but 50% you learn in the bar.
Oh, the stories are fabulous. Yeah, the stories are fabulous about what you pick up from others. I just did a course, an IOD course, a few weeks ago, and that was absolutely. There were people from abroad there as well, and you often, we are all very hands-on in our business, so we are all quite nose in the trough, and it is sometimes really good just to lift your head up a little bit and listen to other people, and maybe probably your own worst enemy or your own worst critic is yourself. So when you hear that other people, some of the challenges that other people have got, blimey, how would I manage that? You know, it's good.
Yeah. And is there anything that you've done as a business? And I know this is a slightly loaded question because, as you say, you're more on the sort of supply chain side. But are you aware of anything that Cockerill's have done as a fundamental difference because of the involvement with CUPGRA?
Oh crikey, you're putting me on the spot there. Agronomically, there will be things that my colleagues in the past and will have picked up on. I haven't ever mentioned a guy that's worked for us for a long time, Ben Timon, on our seed business. Ben Timon regularly goes to CUPGRA. Mike Dangerfield, as I said, who's worked in the business a long time, goes to CUPGRA. There will be bits and pieces that we pick up. I should actually mention as well that we run every year. We have a growers conference, and we get together all of our growers. We've only held it about a week or two ago, and we alternate the theme between technical and commercial. So this year was a technical theme. So this year we had a speaker from Dan Stevenson from Leaf. We had Becky Wilson from Farm Carbon Toolkit. Our own Polly Megginson did a talk on. I talked about our trial site that we're running as well. So Polly did that, and we had James Chapman talking about from Yellowwell. He's talking about farm safety.
Oh wow!
So going back the year before, the last commercial one, we had Alan Wilkinson from HSBC. We had Martin Shields and Kieran Gibson from Aldi, and Ian Rigby from PepsiCo. So we try to. That's the way that we pick up on bits and pieces. We'll get from CUPGRA. We also encourage not necessarily our growers to come to it, so ancillary suppliers to our growers, mainly agronomists, like for example the guys from Hafe to come to our conference. Just pick up what's happening in the whole of our business, and somebody will pick up something and they can disseminate it out. So we invite all the agronomists that have something to do with all of our suppliers. There's probably about 10 or 12 of them across the sort of 100 or so growers that we deal with. Get them to come, get them to listen, and a lot of them go to CUPGRA anyway, and that's where the shared knowledge is.
Well done. I'm probably the CUPGRA conference is obviously very specific, but I think it would be really interesting if we did have someone from the automobile sector or the aeronautic sector, just to give and throw them that sort of curveball. You've seen our business because we give them as much information as possible. How would you better our business? And just get them to wax lyrical for 40 minutes. That'd be fascinating.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And those kind of stories. There's plenty of docu stuff on Netflix now, really, but or BBC around the factory trips and things like that, which are absolutely fascinating. Everybody's making a product. Everybody's starting from 4 or 5 bits and pieces, putting it together and ending up with a finished product. And it's just how you all get to that point.
Yeah. Done. But just to wrap up, every business has got concerns, speed bumps, worries, and the better businesses I come across are those that are actually worried because they do something about it. We talked about your management structure. We talked about how Martin's still actually been involved. You told us about how you got a great non-exec on board. What are the speed bumps that you're worried about in the future, and how are you going to counter them?
We've had loads of speed bumps over the last 4 or 5 years, as has everybody do with agricultural inflation. Labour was a big speed bump 2 or 3 years ago. We're in a probably shouldn't speak too soon, but we're in a comfortable place at the moment. We've got a good, solid workforce, so we're in a comfortable place there. And I think some of our processes are good. We've got a good relationship with our customers. We've continued over the last 4 or 5 years to grow our volumes with our fresh customers and with Aldi and with our crisping customers as well. I think the real watch out at the moment is going to the other end of the supply chain, is farming, is the grower base, and it's got its it's got its own political issues at the moment with whether or not with land tenure and whether or not you're actually going to own the land that you have in future. There's an awful lot of land in potato production is rented ground.
Yep.
So that's a big issue. We could see the breakup of farming businesses. That's a big issue. And let's face it, we've had a decent crop 24. We're just coming to the end of crop 24, as we talked about. But crop 22 and crop 23 were absolute dogs. One was a drought, one was too much rainfall, and then we're here now in Yorkshire with introducing a hosepipe ban today.
Yep.
So, and that's 3 big events in 4 years. So it's the supply side that is of our greatest concern, and that's why we're looking at the different innovative ways to work alongside of our growers, whether or not we do some joint ventures, support them in some way, shape or form. And this is all, and this is a recognition that's happening throughout the supply chain as well. So we share this with our customers, and they're recognising that you can no longer operate in silos in your little points in a supply chain. It has got to be linked up, and I know it's an old cliche about sort of working collaboratively, but I really do think that is having to happen now.
Well done. You stole my words, because it does seem just constantly come across this same phraseology about collaborate. We all need to collaborate to success, to create success.
But that's been something that's been, it's been dragged out. It's a bit like the famous sustainability word. It's got dragged out and flogged to death. But I really think it has in the last couple of years, especially with the potato industry. It's kind of sweet spot maybe is 5 million tonnes in the UK. We haven't been anywhere near that. With the unfortunate demise of the AHDB, I don't know. We don't really know where we are. But we're probably 10-15% down on volume of production. We need to just know a little bit. That's why we need to know more between us.
But are you optimistic? Are you optimistic for the future? On the basis of your business, the team that you've got, the strength that you got, and the strategy that you got, are you optimistic about the future?
Absolutely. And by nature, you met Martin, and you've met all the people. You've met several people in our business today. We are all optimistic. We are a positive business. We've grown a lot in the last 3 or 4 years, or continue to grow in the last 3 or 4 years. And when you look where this business came from, I know Martin is way too modest, but where you look where this business has came from, and there's no reason why we cannot continue like that. We're in a good place. We've got some good. When I talk about the longevity in our staff members and my work colleagues, we see the same with our suppliers as well. We're dealing with some third generations. My 20-something colleagues are talking to the grandsons and things, and I'm now getting to a vintage where I'm going, oh yeah, I knew his dad. We are in a good place. I am very positive about the future.
Well done. And to wrap up, you know what I'm going to ask. What's your favourite fresh produce?
It's a potato.
One of you's going to say avocado. One of you.
Yeah.